Hello, everyone. It is Mo from Mo in the Deep End and Fry from my bed that he's really not supposed to be on. But he's like, Mom, I had to go in the car today. It was scary. I had to meet new people. It was terrifying. I did not like it at all. And those damn trash pandas are going to be at it again tonight. He just knows it. Hello, Christine, and welcome, Eris. For our first story, we have naked brawler fends off spiked club attack on LA beach as stunned bystanders film duel. I mean, honest to goodness, this is not from Florida, so I am just as shocked as the rest of you. A naked woman with hairy armpits, as we can clearly see here, was caught on camera squaring off with another woman wielding a spiked club in Los Angeles on Monday. The daylight incident happened on the Venice Beach boardwalk and was filmed by stunned bystanders, according to footage shared by TMZ. In the clip, a svelte nude woman with long brown hair and a small back tattoo was seen adopting a fighting stance and casually deflecting a spiked club that was being swung at her by another woman who was clad in sandals and a spandex outfit. They didn't say anything about the sveltitude of the spandexed woman, maybe because there was no sveltitude. Welcome, cool gamer. The clothed woman eventually threw the spiked club at the nonplussed nude woman who picked it up as her apparent attacker grabbed a bat. I need to understand I need a story time on all of this. Hello, Debbie W. The two women dueled for a few more minutes before the naked woman knocked the bat out of the clothed woman's hand and chased her off. I I have so many questions here. Neither woman appeared to have suffered injuries, and none of the many bystanders filming on the boardwalk tried to intervene, though many were heard making snide comments. This is the S we're dealing with here out on Venice Boardwalk, one onlooker was heard saying. "Where's the police when you need them?" interjected another. The Los Angeles Police Department could not immediately provide information on where they were when the incident took place. I added that last bit, but they didn't comment either way. So who knows where they were? But eventually, the naked woman got both objects of attack, and now now we're gonna have to be wary of the nudist melee attack that apparently is going to be planned. What the hell is going on with America? In other Frankenfood news, Korean food scientists grow beef inside rice grains. This looks terrible, just gross. Meat and rice is a centuries old dish loved across the world in multitude of varieties. Now Korean scientists are combining the two by growing animal muscle and fat cells inside grains of rice. Ooh. According to a study published in the science journal Matter, the quote cell cultured protein rice could become a superfood. Scientists used fish gelatin, a safe edible ingredient that helps cells latch onto the rice, then seeded cow muscle and fat stem cells into the rice. After 9 to 10 days, the cell cultured beef rice was harvested. According to the study's author, Dr. Park, because I'm not going to try to say your first name, the rice provided a natural structure and nutritional profile for the meat cells to grow on. On Thursday, Park told CNN and his team had tried experimenting with other combinations, including soybeans, and it didn't work because consumers can't feel the meat like texture. In a release, the team said the hybrid rice is more nutritional than traditional rice at with 8% more protein and 7% more fat. Compared to traditional rice, the hybrid rice was firmer and more brittle. No. The new food is also less reliant on water and natural resources normally used to feed and grow cattle. Look, I am buying a full cow. I am naming it Greta Van Doomsburg, and I will be eating every single bit of steak, okay? Stop trying to make this mutant food. Hybrid rice is estimated to release less than 1.26 kilograms of CO2 compared to beef's. You know what? Shut up. If commercialized, the hybrid rice would cost about $2.23 per kilogram. Currently, beef costs around $15 per kilogram. I say we make more cows. I didn't expect the cells to grow so well in the rice, Park said. Now I see a world of possibilities for this grain based hybrid food. It could one day serve as food relief for famine, military rations, or even space food. Because no one should be doing this. Have we not had like at least six Jurassic Park movies to explain why science shouldn't do certain crap? For the love of all that's holy. And things that'll make you go, "Ooh." I'm an ex-cruise ship worker. Here's the shocking reason we throw free ice cream parties. This can't be good. Could this be the ice cold truth? Dara Tucker, who goes by Dara Star Tucker on TikTok, explained the eerie reason why cruise lines have free ice cream parties for passengers on board. In the 1 minute and 24-second clip with over 2.3 million views, the former cruise singer who lived on a ship in the Mediterranean and Caribbean claimed ice cream parties don't only equate to a sweet celebration with brain freezes. Quote, if the crew suddenly makes a bunch of ice cream available to the passengers, it's often because more people have died on the ship than they have room for in the morgue, she alleged in a viral clip. Never going on a cruise. Quote, if more than 7 people died on that particular ship, they would have to start moving bodies into the freezer, which meant they needed to make room in the freezer, she continued. So they would have to take out a lot of ice cream and other frozen goods in order to make room for the extra bodies. Tucker admitted she didn't have to work in the morgue, but knew colleagues who worked as nurses in the morbid space. Quote, they said maybe 4 to 10 people die every cruise. And there are a lot of older people on cruise ships, she added about the cruise ships she worked on that carried around 3,000 passengers. The Post reached out to Tucker for additional information regarding her disturbing claims. In a follow up video, Tucker clarified that the statistics she shared were based on upscale cruises that cater to an older demographic of passengers who averaged around 75 years old. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go on us poor people cruises where we're all younger and just kinda broke, and we just stay in our house and pretend we've been on a cruise. Quote, "With this particular cruise line, because it attracted so many older people, they were dying," Tucker said. This was a floating retirement home. Regardless, cruise lines are legally required to have body bags and a morgue for passengers who die on the cruise. Each morgue size varies in size depending on the ship's dimensions, but they can usually hold 3 to 4 bodies, reported the Telegraph. However, when a morgue has reached its storage capacity, I mean, can't you just double people up asking for a friend? Also, I'm never having the free ice cream party on a cruise. Oh my god. It brings up the question of where the other bodies go. The cruise ships have morgues that are stainless steel refrigerated rooms with shelves where bodies can be stored either until the end of the voyage or until they can be disembarked at a port of call and returned home. The point guys said Morgues are typically located on the ship's lower deck near storage spaces for food, alcohol, and miscellaneous ship supplies. Many TikTokers were in disbelief by Tucker's freezer allegation, but a few experts in the overseas industry quickly backed her. Quote, cruise ship Medicare can confirm morgue and ice cream correlation, wrote Corey L. Bucker, who goes by, you can look up his name on TikTok. I'm not going to. The Post reached out to Bucker for comment. Quote, former sailor here. Yes, it's accurate, another said. We don't wear our covers on mess decks, and sometimes space needs to be made in the freezer. It can happen on military vessels too. We had no morgue on board, so if anyone died or we had to transport a body, it meant the crew ate good because frozen space had to be found, commented a veteran. Previously reported by the Post, a Florida family discovered their loved one's body was improperly stored in a cooler after he died from a heart attack while vacationing on Celebrity's Equinox cruise ship that sailed through the Caribbean in August 2022. Robert Louis Jones's family was promised by the cruise staff that his body would be kept safe in the ship's morgue, according to the lawsuit. However, once the ship docked in Fort Lauderdale 6 days after his death, his wife learned that her 87-year-old, or I'm sorry, 78-year-old husband's body was allegedly kept in a walk-in cooler. Okay, okay, move him around. We need to get the Caesar dressing out on the buffet. God, what is wrong? Quote, when the funeral service employee in Fort Lauderdale was brought onto the ship to retrieve Mr. Jones's body, his body was not located in the ship's morgue, said the lawsuit, filed last week in Florida federal court. Instead, Mr. Jones' body had, at some time yet unknown, been moved from the ship's morgue to a cooler on a different floor than the ship's morgue. The cooler, which the funeral employee found Mr. Jones' body, had drinks placed outside the cooler and was not at a temperature which was sufficient or proper for storing a dead body to prevent decomposition. Holy giblets. Never going on the Equinox. Hey, Sal. The family sued Celebrity Cruises for $1 million for the negligent procedure and improperly storing their relative's body, causing them to decompose badly. Well, yes. Yes, that's horrid and terrible. What is wrong with you people? In other news of what is wrong with people, employees at a Kentucky Dairy Queen said they were forced to eat ice cream contaminated with cleaning solution. Dairy Queen workers say a manager forced them to eat ice cream contaminated by cleaning product. The mothers of a teen making the claim told local news that many of the targeted workers were minors. The local sheriff's office says it's investigating claims that employees at Dairy Queen in Kentucky were forced to eat ice cream contaminated with cleaning solution. A local outlet, WKYT, reported Tuesday. Angela Patton told the outlet that her 17-year-old daughter was among the employees involved in the incident at the Dairy Queen located in the small city of Campton. Quote, they were told by the manager that whether or not they liked chocolate ice cream, they were going to taste it today, Patton told WKYT. Patton told the outlet that roughly 8 employees, many of them minors, were involved in the incident, and their manager had told the workers they hadn't cleaned the ice cream machine properly, so would be served the contaminated ice cream as a punishment. She said several of them experienced burning sensations while eating the ice cream and sought medical treatment. Business Insider could not verify those claims. Quote, the safety of our fans and crew members is our top priority, the franchise owner Steve Caudill told BI in a statement. When we received complaints, we immediately began an investigation, which is ongoing. We're reviewing our processes and covering the expense for crew members involved. The manager involved is no longer employed at our restaurant. Know that we contacted local law enforcement to assist, and we are fully cooperating with their investigation. The Wolfe County Sheriff's Office told WKYT, it was investigating the claims. Elijah Banks, a sheriff's deputy, told the outlet that little could be shared about an ongoing investigation because it involved juveniles, but that the Wolfe County officials were in contact with the county attorney to determine the next steps. The sheriff's office did not immediately respond for a request for comment from BI sent outside of regular working hours, and no charges have been filed. In New York, a woman was recently denied a retrial after she received a 23-year sentence for poisoning and unaliving her boss with medication used for gout. Incidents of product tampering can also result in felony charges, as in the 2019 case of a mother who allowed her young daughter to lick tongue depressors at a medical clinic, then put them back, resulting in a felony charge that was later reduced to a misdemeanor. What in the actual so you let your child who could be carrying every single bit of the plague. Look, I love my children, but the young ones are full of every sickness known to mankind, okay? So you let them lick the tongue depressors and then put them back in the container like a freaking heathen? Are you kidding me? Oh. The woman was inspired to record a video of the incident due to an online trend of licking consumer products, then putting them back for unsuspecting buyers to take home. Look, I don't want to be militant about this, but that's a life sentence right there. I have no time nor inclination to deal with the norovirus because you let your ridiculous child, whom you love, I know you love them, that you think they're super awesome, but they are just vectors for disease. If they're not related to me, they're still super cute. Lick the tongue depressors and then put them back in because you saw morons on TikTok lick ice cream and put it back. Are you an adult, allegedly? Oh, for Christ's sake, you are a dingus. And seriously, I just vacuumed, Fry. Don't go French. Hello, Darth Hideous. Okay. The trend has been around for nearly a decade and has grown exponentially since 2015 when Ariana Grande was famously caught on camera licking a donut that was later sold to an unsuspecting customer, for which she's faced intense backlash. But the filthy habit has also continued into recent years with the so-called sushi terrorism, resulting in several arrests after videos went viral of pranksters in Japan licking utensils and soy sauce bottles and rubbing saliva on the conveyor belt. What is wrong with people? I no, just no. In my shock, you can't imagine it, but Nicki Minaj is apparently a very demanding diva. I know, I expect better of Japan. I thought they were super polite. I've seen King of the Hill when he found out he had a Japanese brother. Sure, that wasn't stereotyping at all. February 23rd, with Nicki Minaj's 2024 world tour set to launch next week, promoters everywhere should brace for dealing with the concert writer befitting a diva. Quote, for us to present the full Nicki Minaj entertainment experience, we need you to deliver every item listed in this rider, declares the introduction to a prior Minaj rider detailing the rapper's, quote, technical and hospitality needs. Covering 40 pages, the Minaj writer details her show's stage, lighting, and sound requirements, noting that the local crew must be able to communicate at all time in the English language, or, quote, the producer promoter must provide an interpreter to work alongside the staff and crew from load in to load out. The portion of the writer detailing Minaj's dressing room runs several pages with subsections covering furniture and dressing room accommodations, bathroom requirements, beauty, health and hygiene, water and soft drink, foods and condiments, wine and alcohol. Okay. Menage's list of backstage demands are lengthy, with notations that many items are, quote, very important, like regular ranch and blue cheese dressings, and white love seat, very important, no exceptions. Okay. Along with a pink toothbrush, Menage needs 4 rolls of good quality toilet paper, 4 unscented Dove's soap bars, a box of baby wipes, mouthwash, deodorant, Burt's Bees facial wipes, lens solution, pink chiffon hand gel, 5 scented candles, 2 dozen pink or white roses, 2 pink IKEA table lamps, and many, many other items. Very important, no exceptions, all the exclamation part points. Her food requirements include 2 strip steaks, well done, ma'am. Well done. Look, I am a heretic almost for doing medium well. I'm trying to get where I like it rarer, but look, something about the pink just throws me over. So, I'm trying to get better, but well done. Did you ask for a side of catsup with it? I mean, fresh whole kernel corn, not corn on the cob, 2 grilled or blackened chicken breasts, a deli tray, 2 cans of Campbell's chicken noodle soup. What the hell? I feel like half of this shit she's making up just to see if she'll actually get it, which to be fair, I would probably BS my way through something ridiculous because, you know, I'm me, but I'm also a deeply silly person. She's supposed to be a professional entertainer. Who the hell's going to do a long show of stripper moves with 2 well done steaks and 2 blackened chicken breasts, a deli tray, 2 cans of chicken noodle soup, a fruit platter, apples, peanut butters peanut butter, cranberries, blue diamond almonds, 4 cans of bumblebee tuna, a jar of whole or Italian whole green olives, A1 steak sauce, Red Rooster hot sauce. Upon request, Menage may also need 12 pieces of fried chicken, spicy wings, no thighs. By comparison, the performer's booze appears to be minimal. 4 bottles of wine, 2 bottles of Ciroc vodka, and single bottles of Monette champagne, Patron Silver tequila. She also demands 4 travel-sized bottles of Sutter Home Chardonnay. I give up. And bumblebee tuna, are you kidding me, ma'am? No one wants to have the tuna sweats when they're out there doing a triple Lutz, of the stripper performance. I don't ma'am, th shenanigans. I call shenanigans on all of this. I understand you probably thought you weren't gonna get any of this, but this is some BS, ma'am. And I would lose my crap. A Queens couple buys a $2 million dream home to care for disabled son, only to find a squatter living inside. Oh, no. No, no. Something would look, I'm not saying that, like, we would suddenly find carbon monoxide leaking in the house, but allegedly. A New York couple's plan to move into a $2 million dream home to retire with their disabled son has become a quote unquote nightmare as they battle a squatter who claims he had an agreement with the previous owner. Susanna and Joseph Landa, both 68, purchased the home next to family members in the quiet New York City residential neighborhood of Douglaston, Queens, in October 2023, ABC7 reported. Also, that's $2 million. I mean, It's a beautiful house. I kinda dig it, but 2 mil? I said allegedly. Uh, Quote, "I just want to know that I can die tomorrow and he's next to his brother," Susanna Landa told the outlet Wednesday. The couple, however, has yet to move into the multi-million-dollar home 4 months after signing the deed as they try to get rid of a squatter, Brett Flores. "It has become a nightmare, a total nightmare," Joseph Landa told the outlet Wednesday. Flores, 32, was hired on a 30 or $3,000 a week salary by the former homeowner as his caretaker until the man died in January 2023, court documents obtained by the outlet show. The squatter claims to have license from the dead owner to stay in the house, but he is dead. Him dead. Him dead. These people bought the house. You have no more license. Look, you wouldn't want to know what President Mo would tell the couple to do. I'm just saying. Quote, "We couldn't believe it. We could not believe it," Susanna said. Flores has also been living in the home since the former owner died, which caused a major headache when they tried to get him out. It is, quote, "unlawful for any person to evict or attempt to evict an occupant of a dwelling unit who has lawfully occupied the dwelling for 30 consecutive days or longer, according to New York squatters' right." The homeowners gave Flores 10 days' notice to leave, then tried to enter the property alongside an insurance inspector, but he called the cops on them. Oh, I would lose my ever living crap. Even though the Landas never had an agreement with Flores as a tenant, police could not evict the squatter. Quote, "If you have no lease and you're not paying rent, what's your right?" Joseph said. Flores has also listed rooms for rent at the property for other people. An online listing shows Flores advertising the Prince Room for $50 a night to males, females, couples, families, or students looking for a place to stay at the couple's home. Oh, sir. The Landas have also been left footing all the bills for the property, including thousands of dollars in utilities. Oh, no. No, no. I would cut all of the utilities off. You guys are much nicer than me. No. You think you have water? No, the house is in my name. Nope. You think you have gas? No, the house is in my name. Nope. Uh, Susanna Landa claims Flores has been leaving windows open 24 hours a day, which has racked up a hefty heating bill. It's very crazy. Our system is broken," Susanna said. "I never would imagine we'd have no rights at all, nothing. 0. The couple has had 5 hearings in civil court since they bought the home, but the process keeps getting held up by Flores's antics. He showed up for court without an attorney on January 9th, 2024, preventing any legal proceedings. Most recently, he filed for bankruptcy, which automatically allowed him to stay in the home. Quote, "When a residential tenant files bankruptcy petition, an automatic stay prevents the landlord from bringing or continuing a case to obtain possession and from enforcing a judgment obtained before the commencement of the bankruptcy case," according to New York City law. The purpose is to allow the, quote, "debtor a breathing spell from his creditors," end quote. "It makes me feel completely forgotten by this legal system, unfair and not able to do anything," Joseph Lana told the outlet. The couple are taking Flores to landlord-tenant court in hopes of getting him evicted, but the court hearing is not until April. Look, you guys, I'm just saying, I would cut off all utilities, but I am a heifer like that. Like, I'd cut off Wi-Fi because I think he'd die. But, that gas, that electric, that water, I mean, I'd probably be charged with, human cruelty, but I don't really give a A heroic DoorDash driver helps a woman escape a quote unquote aggressor only to be hunted down in a car chase. What is wrong with people? A DoorDash driver heroically helped a woman escape an aggressive man on the side of a California road. And the wig tree went. The cat's done destroyed this wig, so I'm trying to fix it. But gravity wins. Yes, Fry, thank you for saving me. Fry's like, I catch it, mom. No, I just make more mess with the stick. Before he was chased down and rammed into parked cars for intervening, terrifying footage shows. Angelo Montoya, 20, was on his way to pick up his next food delivery when he pulled up to the violent altercation on Interstate 8 and Sunset Cliffs in Ocean Beach neighborhood of San Diego. Quote, she's screaming for help, 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 Montoya told CBS 8 of how he came to the decision to get involved in the curbside argument. Please don't leave me, the woman said, according to Montoya's GoFundMe. Montoya, who is driving a Tesla he bought after years of working at In N Out during high school, returned to the scene to help the woman. The San Diego State sophomore assumed his presence would calm the situation, but only made matters worse when the man turned his attention to the driver who was still inside his car. The aggressor starts targeting me, telling me to mind my business, and I'm like, no, she's yelling for help, Montoya added. Back away from her, please. Back away, or I'll call the cops. Montoya claimed the unidentified man approached his window and began to attack him. He punched me through the window on my neck, Montoya said. That's when I knew this was way more than I expected. Montoya called 911 while telling the woman to get in his car, and the two fled. Moments later, the angry man speeds alongside Montoya's Tesla before cutting into the DoorDasher and quickly getting out of his car. What a jerk face. Quote, he gets out of his vehicle and I was so scared, Montoya told the outlet. The college student's quick actions led him to back up, then drive toward the aggravated man, who jumped onto the Tesla's hood before falling back onto the road. Montoya raced away, but was once more chased down. The stranger crashed into the left side of the Tesla, forcing Montoya's vehicle to collide with several parked cars. I see him from behind me, Montoya added. I don't know what to expect, and that's when he rammed into my vehicle from the left, causing a lot of damage. Fortunately for Montoya and the woman he rescued, the man drove away following the crash, but was soon arrested and charged with assault with a deadly weapon. He'll be out tomorrow. Allegedly, I'm just guessing. According to KFMB. Oh, that's just. And he ruined all these other people's car too. The woman escaped the incident without any serious injuries, but Montoya was hospitalized with minor injuries. I had a lot of soreness to my neck, lower back, and calf of my right leg was hurting. After his release from the hospital, Montoya started his GoFundMe seeking assistance to pay his medical and legal bills and help pay for a new ride. Well, good on him. I mean, a lot of people are kind of doing the bystander thing and they wouldn't put themselves out there to help someone, and he did. So, if you feel like, donating to his GoFundMe, he did a good thing, and he probably really saved that woman's life considering how nutso the guy went. In Lakeland Riley news, the DA in charge of the Lakeland Riley murder case stands down, promises it, quote, won't be used for political gain. Too late. Look, we all saw the mayor try to turn this into a story from 2019. The Democrat district attorney in charge of prosecuting the Venezuelan migrant accused of brutally murdering Lakeland Riley has removed herself from the case amid criticism she failed to secure a single guilty verdict the entire time she's been in office. Holy shit balls. You're the prosecutor. How do you fail to get any convictions? Athens Clark District Attorney Deborah Gonzalez appointed veteran attorney Sheila Ross to serve as special prosecutor to instead handle the case against Jose Ibarra for murdering the 22-year-old nursing student who was innocently out for a run. Quote, "We will not allow this or any other case to be used for political gain," Gonzalez, who was elected in 2020. You have not won a single case in 4 years? Holy shitballs, ma'am. Quote, "Our top priority is the safety of every citizen." Are you sure? Because you haven't won a damn case. I mean, look, I'm not saying I'm the smartest person in the crayon box, but I'm not the DA who's not won a single daggone case, you know, in 4 years. That's with the entire power of the state behind you. How can you be that bad? She stepped down after Georgia Governor Brian Kemp publicly expressed his concerns that she would not be able to handle the high profile case. Ow. That had to hurt, right, y'all? Ouch. Quote, "Miss Gonzalez has failed to achieve one guilty verdict in a jury trial involving any type of criminal case. And yet y'all are still gonna vote for her, aren't you?" Chiblets. Distant, we need to do an entire Judge Sailor Justice Moon on this one. What the hell? How bad a damn I mean, that's like if you sent my loose cannon ass into jail and I'd be like, "Look, y'all, there's some dumb fuckery going on, your honorness, because my face look, my mouth might be quiet, but my face is full on all cap locks, underline contempt. It just generally is." He says he does not believe Gonzalez's office is properly equipped to prosecute Ibarra. Roberto, I set you up to be caught on. Now we've got Fry Butt Cam. Yes, you have a stick. I'm so very proud of you. Quote, "We currently have a district attorney that has a complete inability to prosecute this case appropriately," he said. State Rep Houston Gaines, whose district borders the area where Riley's body was found, also said he has, quote, "a real concern about her ability to handle this case," according to the Athens banner. Fry, just when I think I get you in shot, "She's not ready to handle this case," he said. When asked Monday whether he felt confident in Gonzalez's ability to, quote, "bring this suspect to justice," Governor Kemp simply replied, "Well, she best do that," the Banner Herald reports. Of all the cases at the DA's office closed in 2023, it chose not to prosecute 46% of it. Or 46%, 11 alive found. Of the felonies charged, 130 were pleaded down to misdemeanors, giving most defendants probation, the news channel reported in January. At other times, cases were dismissed or reduced because prosecutors did not feel they had sufficient evidence or because witnesses no longer wanted to testify. Still, Gonzalez seemed to defend her record in her statement on Monday. Quote, "From day one, our office has worked diligently to help criminals. I mean, to keep this community safe from prosecution. I mean, Jesus. To keep this community safe from anyone who seeks to do it harm, like those damn peace loving people who don't break the law. This includes those who believe that violence is the answer," she said. "We will ensure that such individuals plead down to a misdemeanor and are given, probation." Ma'am, ma'am, do not try to defend your abysmal record. Just take your lumps, say, "I kinda suck." I mean, do the Alex Jones mea culpa, "I'm kind of art-tarded." And, honesty and humility do tend to, work sometimes. In other news, Texas Panhandle wildflowers Smokehouse Creek fire has burned more than 1 million acres, making it the largest in state history. At least one person passed away as a result of the fires that have spread across northern Texas. A massive wildfire burning across the Texas Panhandle has scorched more than 1 million acres, making it the largest recorded blaze in state history, officials said. The Smokehouse House Creek fire is one of 5 active wildfires burning in the northern part of the state, according to Texas A&M Forest Service. The blazes have caused thousands of evacuations and power outages and left at least one person dead. According to the Forest Service, these are the 5 wildfires burning in northern Texas: the Smokehouse Creek Fire, the Windy Deuce Fire, the Grapevine Creek Fire, the Magenta Fire, and the 687 Reamer Fire. I don't know, but I kinda like the sound of the Reamer Fire. Hello, Jude. The Smokehouse Creek fire surpassed Texas's previous largest wildfire on record, the East Amarillo Complex Fire, which killed a dozen people as it torched more than 970,000, look, a bunch of acres. Right, you done melted my brain today with your Twitter patience. In March 2006, heavy winds and extremely dry grass, unseasonably warm temperatures across the Panhandle region have caused each of the fires to spread quickly, a fire officials say. CNN reported that Joyce Blankenship, 83, died in her house in Stinnett, Texas, Wednesday as the Smokehouse Creek fire swept through it. The house was gone, her grandson Nathan Blankenship told the news outlet. There was no way she could have gotten out. Quote, Texans are urged to limit activities that could create sparks and take precautions to keep their loved ones safe, Texas Governor Greg Abbott said in a statement Tuesday when he issued a disaster declaration for 60 counties to allow fire response resources to be quickly deployed to areas affected by the wildflowers. Fires, on it. Power and water outages. Thousands remain without power in parts of the Panhandle region, though reports of power outages have been declining. Residents in Fritridge, a city of about 2,000 located in Hitchinson and Moore counties, were without water and power. The city pleaded in a Facebook post for an industrial generator to help get our water back up. Residents have been posting wildfire updates in a public Facebook group through which locals have been coordinating assistance to move their livestock, borrow equipment, and find and provide shelter and donations. Thousands are under evacuation orders. Several towns and communities are under mandatory evacuations in the Amarillo region, according to the National Weather Service. Residents in other towns had the choice to evacuate. The Windy Deuce fire destroyed about half of the structures in Borger and Fritch. In Fritch, more than 40 houses were damaged and parts of the city had to be evacuated. In Borger, many of the city's 13,000 residents said they felt trapped. It was like a ring of fire around Borger, Adriana Hill told the Associated Press. There was no way out. Oklahomans are in the northwestern part of the state, which shares a border with Texas, have also been forced to leave their homes due to the Smokehouse Creek fire, which jumped across state lines. It crossed state lines. You go get 'em, Binger. On Tuesday, it has already burned more than 30,000 acres in Oklahoma. Friberto, every time I just about get you where I think you're going to be in frame, you just He's like, "I is trying, mom. I was just Twitter pated today. You made me drive in that demon car." Partial shutdown at a nuclear weapons facility. On Tuesday night, Carlson County's Pantex plant, the U.S.'s main nuclear weapons facility, briefly evacuated non-essential staff out of, quote, "an abundance of caution," said Leif Pendergraft, a spokesperson for National Nuclear Security Administration Production Office at Pantex. Was this before or after he stole a bunch of women's clothing? Look, I know that the guy who did that was actually in charge of nuclear waste management, but still, when you have a guy who is bald and stealing women's clothing at airports and wearing it on Instagram and the TikToks like no one's gonna notice, it's hilarious, and you have to work it in every way you can. The facility, which is largely responsible for assembling and disassembling the US's nuclear arsenal, is about 13 miles away from the Windy Deuce fire in Moore County. The plant said Wednesday it was open for normal day shift operations. Firefighters deployed to contain the flames. The Smokehouse Creek fire was just 3% contained as of Wednesday evening, according to the Forest Service, but crews battling the flames may have made more progress on the smaller wildfires. The Windy Deuce Fire, which burned about 142,000 acres, is about 50% contained. In Gray County, firefighters have contained 60% of the Grapevine Creek Fire, which destroyed 30,000 acres. The Juliet Pass Fire in Armstrong County was largely under control with 100% containment, but an estimated 3,000 acres have been scorched. Okay, now call me crazy, but you'd think you'd work on the biggest one too. But I'm not a fireologist, so I'm not going to tell these people how to do their very complicated job because I don't I don't play with fire. I don't let the boys play with fire. So it looks like the Microsoft deadly, ex-wife case has hit a little bump in the road. Microsoft exec ambush murder hits a roadblock as discovery screw up fuels bid to oust prosecution. A discovery screw up from the prosecution, like Delphi. Oh no. Could you just, if you're gonna have a high profile case, maybe not schmuck it up? Why would we do that? The future of a Microsoft executive's ambush murder took its next step on Monday as a judge assigned another judge to review whether prosecutors improperly got their hands on confidential communications between one of the defendants and his legal counsel. Quote, due to the sensitive nature of the privilege, defendants have asserted in abundance of caution the undersigned will not conduct a review of the substance of the contested materials, wrote Judge London M. Kite. Upon consideration, the court requests that the Honorable Chief Judge Lance M. Day to appoint a circuit judge to review the contested materials to determine whether the contested materials contain attorney-client privilege information. Mario Enrique Fernandez Saldana, 35, the defendant in question, had filed in November to kick out state's attorney's office for the Fourth Judicial Circuit. He and his estranged wife, Shanna Lee Gardner, 36, are charged in Duval County, Florida, with plotting to unalive her first husband, Jared Briggan, 33. Briggan died in an ambush on February 16th, 2022, when he encountered a tire blocking a dark area of Sanctuary Boulevard. They really done killed him on Sanctuary Boulevard? Y'all are just terrible. According to Jacksonville Beach police, he stepped out of the vehicle and was shot as his 2-year-old daughter from his second wife was in the back seat. Don't make y'all made me do this. If y'all are found guilty, you do not do something with a little kid in the car. Fernandez Saldana's former tenant, Harry Tenon, 63, was charged as the gunman and pled guilty to second-degree murder and agreed to cooperate in the state's case. In the November filing, Fernandez Saldana's defense claimed that the state mishandled communication from his electronic devices and got their hands on confidential communications between the defendant and counsel. Also, you look a little Jim Brewer eyes, and she has the crazy Manson lamps. You both are a recipe for all the screwiness. No. According to the motion, prosecutors assured the defense and the court that they would assemble a taint team to redact all privileged communications and send the rest of the data to the state. By September 27th, however, Jesse and Dreiser, an attorney for Fernandez Saldana, believed a prosecutor had referenced privileged information. Quote, specifically, the assigned assistant state attorney told undersigned counsel she found incriminating evidence against the defendant and that this evidence consisted of a Word document titled Confidential Communications. Well, how was she to know? I mean, it could have allegedly. Allegedly, I mean, how it could have been prawn in the subject line of any and all emails to them and legal staff. They now worried that prosecutors got their hands on emails between them and their client. According to the defense motion, the state answered by asserting that their taint team removed all communication between the defendants and the firms. Quote, the discovery we discussed was not attached to an email. It did not show any attorneys' names or make emails. It did not contain attorney client discussions, a prosecutor wrote, according to the defense motion. The taint agent forwarded to us for review, and based on what he advised, I determined that nothing would suggest it was privileged at the time. Prosecutors made a special web based portal using NextPoint electronic discovery software because of the voluminous discovery. The extensiveness of the material is why the defense only gained access to the portal on October 20th, the motion said. Quote, much to the dismay of defense counsel, upon reviewing the discovery provided via the portal, defense counsel discovered many of the email communications between Mr. Fernandez and his attorney, they wrote. All, if not most, of the emails featured the subject line confidential information, they wrote. Well, I mean, they both make me want to giggle, so I don't know that I could use either in a court setting without laughing. Hey, agent would be better. What do you do, sweetie? You're at a bar trying to pick someone up? I work for the government. I'm a taint agent. I couldn't even get that out. I am such a 12-year-old. The defense also, uh, wait, the defense also asserts they found emails between Gardner and her Florida attorney, Hank Cox. God dang it, Law and Crime. No, I'm not trying to be an adult. I'm not going to lie to y'all, but that's a slow pitch. And at least one phone call between her and her Washington attorney, Andrew Wagley. In their response, state prosecutors just basically said, "Nuh-uh," called the defense's demand improper and without lawful grounds. There's no lawful law found here. They blame They put the blame on a third party vendor's inadvertent and brief oversight in uploading a massive amount of data onto an e discovery platform without labeling the confidential communications. Quote, the oversight, which involved uploading a few emails and one text between the defendant and his attorneys, was an unintentional act by a third party vendor, they said. The prosecutor, once notified, observed the oversight quickly and consistent with her ethical duties contacted the defense team to alert them to the oversight and immediately disabled the platform to ensure none of the emails or the texts were reviewed by anyone. No one from the prosecution team or the state's attorney office reviewed any privileged emails or text. Both of the both sides agreed to return to review the contested materials on February 16th, filings state. For now, Kite has stayed the proceedings until Day handles the private review of relevant documents and makes a determination about the case. Hello, Wolfram and Minzy. So that is the last story, and then we have Fry update. So we went to his assessment, and I basically told them that this is all my fault. I thought he was gonna be a small dog. So I may have been super inconsistent with, my own personal brand of training, which hasn't been great, to be honest with you. But he is a good candidate for the 3-week intense, board and train sort of experience, so it'll give him a really good reset. And I really like the trainer. He didn't step on a bee. So what happens is Fry is very anxious around other dogs and people, and he will bark, and I was actually nervous, but he didn't do anything more aggressive than bark, but he will, like, try to climb onto my lap and bark at people, so he's a scaredy barker. Um, and I want him to feel better about other dogs and things and be better walking because, like I told the trainer, I want to be able to walk him further, but when he jerks on the collar, it really hurts my legs and it makes it harder for me to walk him further because it's not as easy to walk him when he's being a ding dong. So He would the 2, trainers that I got to talk to were really, really sweet and nice, and Fry was not happy about the car ride at all, but, I mean, he did sort of they were throwing toys with him, and he finally eventually started playing with a toy. I mean, he still was a bit suspicious of them all, but the trainer was kind of in agreement with me that, uh, you know, the 3-week boarding training would probably be the best option because we kind of both need I do not roll up an I look, I am what we call a pushover. Friberto knows that if he cries enough, mom will let him out of the crate. So I need to be retrained more so than Fry does. So that's what I told them. I was like, 100% of his problems are because he has broken me. So that is what we are planning to do, and he is going to get his big boy shots, and he does not need to be neutered, but he goes to the vet next Tuesday, Super Tuesday, and we might see if he, is old enough to get his, giblets removed. And while I'm a little sad that he'll be gone for 3 weeks, we really do need this because he is a larger dog than I anticipated, and I want him look, he's trying to mount Thor, and I'm not having mutant cat well, there's a lot of things wrong with what would happen, but look, we're not having our own June parade in the house. and we're not getting more puppies. So he gets his big boy shots, and then March 18th, he will start his training. Well, the problem is I don't think Thor doesn't enjoy it. I mean, I'm almost tempted sometimes to get the hose. I'm like, "What is wrong with you?" So, I'm a little sad that, he'll be gone for 3 weeks, but I think the 3 weeks will give us a really good reset because, like I said, he's, you know, being he I want him to be much more confident and able to socialize with other dogs instead of barking like a Twitter-pated spider monkey and not bark at the kids when they come home at night and all the other things. And we will get him a big enough crate because look, Mo may Amazon with the best of them, but she may not measure with the best of them. Also, she was told this was a Pomsky. So, we have we it is pricey, but, for him to have a really good and solid obedience, uh, base, if I ever want him to work on more service-related things to help me later on, the trainer was telling me he really does need to have a good solid, obedience base. So I'll go in every Friday of those 3 weeks, and they will uh, give me lessons too, because like I said, I was like, "Look, we both need to be retrained, me most of all." So, he is he and you know what, y'all? I am so irritated. So, since he was, very brave and he went into the car twice, I was gonna get him just a little thing of soft serve from Dairy Queen, just a very small little cup. You'd have thought I used to work at an ice cream place. We had people come and get little, like, doggo cups all the time. The dumb look I got. They're like, "So you want a sundae with no sun?" I was like, "No, I just want a small cup of the vanilla soft serve for my dog." It's a treat because he had to go meet people. We're both introverts, and he had to go people. And this is hard for him, and he also had to be in the demon car. And she's like, "Okay, well, I'll just charge you for a sundae with nothing on it." I was like, " fine." Like, I was just done. I was so done with peopling at that point because, look, Fry does not like the car, he hates it, and, so I had to basically pick him up, put the little car seat, lead on him, on the harness. It was just and he was, like, whining the entire time. I put his little, you know, Godzilla chew toy back there. He was still mad at me. He's also looking at me like, "Mom, don't tell them I was, scared. I was brave. That's why you got me ice creams." Well, yeah. So, believe me, I was just like, "Whatever, fine. I am done." I'm So he comes by. Well, he started liking it towards right when we got to the house. He started getting all relaxed and, laying down, but for most of the car ride, he was not having it. So, I am excited that he will learn that other dogs can be friends. He won't bark at them, and he won't be as anxious because what the trainer was telling me is that his behaviors aren't coming from aggression, which I was worried about, but because he is neurotic, which very likely. So, I'm glad that it definitely the trainer was very sweet and very nice, and didn't push Fry, but he did, touch his leash and, got progressively closer to him, even though he barked. So, and it kind of explained and broke down what they were gonna do. So, this was really I'm really excited because I want to be able to enjoy walks with Fry and not have him, jerk my leg and jerk on the chain, and then also, I think the boys will like walking with Fry more if he's not, hydroplaning them across the yard. But that is all the Fry update. I am going to sign off here. I did not see anyone, but let me check if anyone has something upcoming do that I can send you over to. Okay, so your choices are we have Megan Fox, we have Flux, we have Uncivil Law, and Recovery Addict. If anyone has an option, let me know. Well, I was thinking about Megan Fox because she's doing a what does it say? A dramatic reading of the Fannie Willis witness list or witness something or other. And then we've also got Karlin Boroshenko, if you would like to hear from her. Oh, is Nick on? Everyone Oh, thank you for the super sticker. Alright, I will send you guys True. He just needs to stop dominating Thor because I don't want the mutant cat puppies. Alright, I'm sending you guys over to Megan Fox, and it should be live, and I should save all of that, and I am going to go to sleep. I made a big giant pot of homemade, French onion soup with bacon because, anything that has bacon, carbs, and cheese in it, that's just an entire meal, and I'm here for it. I could eat soup all summer, but I'm probably going to make myself another cup of that and then go to bed. Good night, everyone. I will see you in the morning with more crazy news to start March because, we have to get a whole new bingo card. I have no idea what's going to be on that one. Have a lovely evening. Tell Megan I said hi, and I will see you guys in the morning.